morning, folks. Or I guess you don't really know what time it is. It's morning. So I'm out here. Had to get up in my attic to find these LED candles that I built last year that were supposed to be some sort of sconce thing, but I ran out of time and they just ended up looking like junk. But whatever. This is the year to improve small things. So my wife went to the dollar store and found these plastic gold looking trays. Well, she found herself one, and then I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's totally it. That's what I totally need to make my sconces. These are going to look great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my candles. I need to candle them up a little more too, but with melted wax. But I'm going to get some elbows. I'm going to mount the elbow. Well, I'm going to drill holes in the back of these trays and run the wires through. I'm going to get these PVC elbows. These will be painted gold to match the sconce. And then I'll candle these up a little more with hot glue drippings, and then I'll put the stain and everything so they look a little more authentic. Actually, what I need to do is put some sort of drip catch right here, I think. Probably, what can I make that out of? Not sure off the top of my head right now, but, and paint that gold as well. Probably a thicker, heavier cardboard would probably work just fine. Little drip catch for the wax. Of course, so paint these gold to match the tray. Get some E6000 or whatever glue and glue these PVC pieces to the tray. Run the wire out the back. And I think when it's all said and done, these are going to look so much better in the haunt. And I've got 8 candles, or 8 pairs, and 10 trays. So I'll probably make a bunch of pairs, and then take one of these and separate them out and put a couple of singles on the other 2 trays. So with, I guess, 6 doubles and some singles. Either way. So here's a nice. This would be a cheap project, I would have to say. I think I get the LEDs from Lighthouse LEDs, the candle flicker ones, and some wire, and then of course get some heat shrink. The trays I think were like $1 something at the dollar store. Of course, my wife went back and just bought all of them because I couldn't remember how many candles I had exactly. But yeah, I mean, this really is not an expensive little project. It'll make the inside of my walkthrough look pretty cool. At least add some character to it. So that's today's project, and I will stop here. I got to go get some supplies at the hardware store, and I'm going to continue with that today. So yeah. All right, I got back from the depot and I picked up this can of gold here, which looks, it looked pretty good in the store. I took one of the trays with me to the store. I think it's going to match all right. And then I picked up another can of, I guess what is this? Heirloom white. It looks close to kind of bone. I didn't, you don't want to do pure white on a skeleton. I don't corpse my skeletons. Everybody does that. I don't. Every time I've done it, it just looks stupid. So I just like mine to just be clean. My haunt's kind of clean. I was thinking about it after listening to a Hauntcast. You develop a certain style, and my haunt's a clean haunt. I mean, I do have webs. Well, I'll have more webs inside the haunt this year, but I don't really do a creepy, spooky. I mean, I let the grass grow, and that's about it. But yeah, my haunt's really kind of clean looking. It just doesn't really have a dirty cemetery crypt kind of feel for some reason. But I'm sorry, I digress. So I got a bunch of elbows. I needed 14. These are bags of 10. And I was like, well, I'm pretty certain that I'm gonna. I'm gonna need elbows for another project because I know I need to build new screen forms for my projectors. So I have I guess here's about where that panel would be. I have a panel that shows there's a door opening so I can get into my house from the haunt when the haunt is up. And I had my scrims on there, but my scrims were made for a smaller window. So that's another thing. I need to buy more scrim material. So I need to make new scrims, and then I'll use a PVC frame because that's easy. And then you can just take it apart to store it. So I was like, yeah, I'll use elbows for that. So, no harm in buying extra elbows. So now I'm going to set up and I'm going to paint a bunch of these elbows that I need for these candles, and then I'm going to paint these. I got one can of spray paint just to try it out. I'm going to spray one of these psychedelic dudes back to looking more like a regular skeleton, and instead of somebody that went to a Grateful Dead concert and had a good time. So on to work. All right, so a little update. I had painted all my elbows for my trays that I got from the dollar store. They were like $1.25 each. Just your typical 1/2-inch PVC 90-degree elbows, and they're all glued onto each tray. I think this one's dry, so you can see there's holes on the back. I'll run the wire through there, and then I'm gonna fasten something to the top so I can just hang them on the wall. So these are all made, and now I'm working on making my candles look better. I was adding some more hot glue. So I got that, and I wasn't paying attention. 2 of these were only supposed to have 1 candle, but I just kind of got in mission mode and just kept going. So I drilled 2 holes. So I had to add, put 2 candle holders versus 1. So I've made 4 more candles. I need to order some more LEDs, but no big deal. I mean, the LEDs are like, I don't know, 50 cents or something each. So that's that. Next, I have to, of course, paint the candles and then do the brown shoe polish mess on them to make them look aged. So I got to do that still. And then I took one of the psychedelic skeletons and I started painting him back to more of a natural color. So, I'm using heirloom white. Yeah, heirloom white. Rust-Oleum to paint him to look more like bone again instead of psychedelic. So that's where I am in the process of these new candle sconces. Alright, so here's the finished result. I am somewhat sort of thinking about putting a small tab behind the candle just to support it. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be visible, but just because of how long the candle is, I used E6000 glue, but you could easily just snap it right off, which I don't really like that much. So I'm sort of thinking going that direction, but I'm going to let it up real quick and give it a test run. We'll see how it looks. All right, there we go. Let's put the lights on. You can see the flickering reflecting off of the tray up there at the top. So this is pretty cool. So let me go turn the lights off and we'll check it out. All right, so this is lights off. So yeah, I mean, it puts off some light, not a lot, but I think it'll illuminate. I mean, I have lights, low lights in each room, and I think it will add enough, or at least be noticeable enough to be seen in my walkthrough haunt. So yeah, I call this a win. So just got to finish 9 more of them, and I'll be good to go.